Man, I'm gonna miss these.
Why would you do that?
I'm not gonna eat a dead bird, am I?
Poor little thing.
Paul is not your typical alien movie, so is it a see it, rent it, or skip it? Kevin Carr, movie critic for fatguysatthemovie.com, has the answer. Good morning, Kevin. And
good morning.
We'll start off with this movie. Is it funny as it looks, or are they using all the good stuff in the previews?
They do kind of use all the best parts in the trailers, and that's a great scene to talk about because it's this very hilarious moment that you know is coming when it shows up. And there's several of those. And not to take anything away from the joke, it's just we've already seen it in the trailers and that sort of thing. The story is about these two guys who are going to Comic-Con, they're kind of nerds, and then they take an RV across the Southwest, all the UFO spots, and run into an alien who's a real alien, and they got to get him home. So it's sort of like this nerdy, grown-up, well, I guess adult, not really grown-up, raunchy, swearing version of E.T.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously you recognize those two guys. They were in Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. They helped write the story.
Okay.
They work better with Edgar Wright, who directed those two movies. This is directed by the guy who did Superbad. So it's got some funny parts to it. It's not perfect. It's cute, and it's worth checking out if you just sort of like for diversion, I guess.
And then Seth Rogen, how is he as the voice of the alien? Because we were talking about Monsters versus Aliens, and he was one of the voices in that. I thought it was very funny. I think his voice is funnier as a cartoon than he is in real life.
I think he fits Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens better than he fits Paul. It's a little bit odd, and he does everything you'd expect from Seth Rogen, you're going to get with the alien in this movie. So, again, it's one of those movies that it depends on your tolerance of the stars.
Right, and it sounds like you're not too crazy about it, so see it, rent it, or skip it.
I'm going to say rent it. It's funny, worth checking out, maybe matinee or rent it later on.
Okay. Next up, Limitless, starring Bradley Cooper. Now, what is this? I know there's like a pill involved, and he becomes super smart. What happens here?
What it is, he's kind of this slacker writer who discovers this pill that unlocks your brain's full potential, and he becomes a genius overnight. He works the stock market, becomes very rich, but he needs to keep taking the pill, and it's the story of him trying to keep doing that and keep on top of things, and all this bad stuff from his old life is coming back to bite him. This actually plays better than the trailers look. I thought the trailers looked sort of but this one, it works as a neat little thriller, sort of a sci-fi kind of thing, because it's got that pill, the magic pill that'll make everything great. And I was pleasantly surprised with this one, but again, it has its flaws.
Okay, and Robert De Niro's in it as well. I mean, how's the acting? How's Bradley Cooper? How's Bobby De Niro?
The acting's pretty good, and I mean, it's definitely Bradley Cooper's movie. Robert De Niro is in a very supporting role, but he's key in the film. It works. Like I said, it has some flaws in the sense he forgets certain things that he shouldn't.
Okay, so quickly, see it, rent it, or skip it. See it, rent it, or skip it?
Rent it.
Okay, rent it. Last up, we're running out of time. Lincoln Lawyer, starring Matthew McConaughey. He takes on a serious role after a string of romantic comedies. He's a lawyer, two clients, one's guilty, who's out of prison, one, right?
Well, he's trying to defend the guy who's up for assault charges, and he's, of course, got this string of, high-priced defense lawyers, so he gets a lot of stuff, and there's some guilt going on with that. But the point is then he has to figure out how to deal with somebody who he thinks might actually be guilty. It's pretty well done. It's a neat little sort of legal thriller. Matthew McConaughey, sorry ladies, he only takes his shirt off once about halfway through the movie. It's not much, so you can't expect that.
But he actually owns a shirt?
Well, he wears a suit through most of the movie. I don't think he owns it. It's the wardrobe department.
Okay. See it, rent it, or skip it?
I'm going to say rent this one as well.
Okay, so rent it. All right. Perfect. Kevin Carr, fatguysatthemovies.com. Lisa, I'm thinking don't take your kids to Paul.
Yeah, I think you're
right. If there are
right.
F-bombs flying in this movie.
Yeah, I'm still
yourself.
thinking about Matthew McConaughey.